Hello traders. In this video I will demonstrate how I find stocks to day trade on ThinkorSwim. I will also share the high probability entries I look for. As a reminder, stock trading is risky and involves cutting losses. To be consistently profitable, it requires an elevated level of self-awareness and personal responsibility. Since risk management and psychology vary greatly for each individual, I will share with you my methodology in finding day trades. To develop my morning watch list, I check my unusual volume scanner, which I nicknamed Low Float RVOL. In other words, low float relative volume. To create a scan like this, just click on the Scan tab. If you are already familiar with creating scans, you can pause the video here and copy my settings. Otherwise, I will walk you through the setup and how to save it as a watch list. For the purpose of this tutorial, I've deleted all the previous settings to create a new scanner from scratch. First thing you want to do is go to the drop-down menu where it says Scan In. Click on that and go to Category and select All Stocks. Then go to the Intersect With drop-down menu. Click on that, go to Category, select All Stocks, then go to the Exclude drop-down menu, click on that, and go to All OTC Stocks. We want to exclude all OTC stocks because they don't trade with the consistency and patterns that regular stocks do that are already listed on the NASDAQ or the New York Stock Exchange, for example. Then we want to go over to the right menu where it says Add Filter. Click on the plus symbol and select stock 3 times. We're going to add 3 stock filters. And finally, 1 study filter. For the first stock filter, we want to change that to last. That'll be the last price. I like to use a $1 for the minimum. You can use something more or less. I just find that the $1 range at least trades a little more consistently. And depending on your risk management, you can select a price. And of course, some of this will vary depending on the range of the particular stock. I like to have it set at $10. The next study filter, we'll go down and find volume. Select volume. And to add this, I usually just hit the plus symbol. That'll put it at 100,000. That's a little high, so I drop one number, make it 10,000, since we're probably looking at this in the pre-market. And the next one, clear that. I want to change the next stock filter, the third one, to shares. Now, I have not found a way to find low float on ThinkorSwim, but I like to use shares to try to narrow it down. And for this, I want to have minimum of 0, but I want to do a maximum of 50 million. Then for the study filter, we want to scroll down to where it says volume. Go to the drop-down menu on the right and find unusual volume. For this particular filter or study filter, I like to leave it as is. You can change the time frame to 1 hour and see if you get different results there. But now you can just hit scan. And then you can see that the relative volume here on the far right. And by the way, you can add this particular category by selecting the settings menu. And you can incorporate that if it's not there already on your preset. And then you want to look for stocks that have a high relative volume. Something traded over 3 or 5 is best. And then in order to have this populate on your watch list on the left in the left margin, what you want to do is you want to make sure you go to the menu right next to the little sizzle index here. Click on that and save scan query. I have mine named already as low float RVol for relative volume. You can save that. Now you can go back to your chart setting. Make sure you have this link, which might be open like this. Change it to the color. Make sure it matches your chart settings. Which, by the way, if you like the chart settings that you see here, stay tuned to the end of the video and you can select the card at the end of the video for a video link, or you can check a link in the description and then I'll show you a tutorial on how to set up your charting platform to look like mine. Now that we've created the scan, you can go over here to your watch list, select that, scroll down to where it says personal. These are going to be all your personal scan queries or personal watch lists that you've created. Now the one that's been customized, we want to look at for low float RVol, one that we just created. Now you can see it populated all the stocks that fall within those parameters. Now we can select this and it'll automatically populate. You want to make sure that you have the link here set to the same color as your charts. So that link there will change to green so that when we select this particular stock, ATNF, and usually I want to select the stocks and look at stocks that are trading with the highest volume. Sometimes if the volume's too high, they can be overcrowded. Then I want to look at my charts in different time frames. Now you can link this chart here and you'll be able to see the daily chart on it. And you can see that in the larger time frame, there was a huge sell-off, which was probably an overreaction, and then the price started to climb back up. By looking at this, you can see that it's almost coming back up and closing the gap to where it left off. This price here tells you that this is a level where it'll likely peak. So now we align the chart over here on the left, which is our 1 hour time frame. And on this particular one, I have my standard error channel, which is a probability of price action indicator. That's all I use it for. Price can always break above it or below it, but it just gives me an idea where the price range is going and also if it's in an upward trend. Clearly we see that this is in an upward trend, but now, currently on the day, we're trading way up at these levels, which tells you the price is likely to come back down and close this price imbalance here where this gap is. So now we look over on the right here, which is our day trading chart. And now you can see the time frame and where people were taking profits here by shorting this. Now the price comes back up, then at the open, comes right back down, and you can see where price was starting to take, where this last level was, where there was some supply and demand here. And then it continued to drop further. Now this price will probably likely drop back down into the $5 range, and you can set alerts. If you like this stock, you can set alerts at this area to see if it bounces off here. But keep in mind, it already closed this price imbalance here, so who knows where the price is going to settle. So that'll give you some ideas of areas where you can trade off of. This would probably be more of a short candidate if you have a margin account. Personally, I have a cash account and I like to trade. I look for buy opportunities rather than sell opportunities. So I'll move down to the next stock, which is rail. Now you can see here that there was probably a news catalyst. Freight Car America shares are trading higher, potentially on continued upward momentum after the company reported Q4 earnings results on Wednesday. Now the price action here is just also up really high. And you can see on our day time frame that this has some clear sky and some room to go up. So there's a possibility that this could continue higher. When we look at our 5-minute time frame, you can see that this was a nice setup where it hit the top of the price channel, came back down at the open, and was trading off the 200 exponential moving average. This would have been a good area for an entry to the long side. As we look a little closer at the chart, you can see that this would have provided opportunities for different areas of risk management. You could have set your stop loss below the price channel here. You could have set your stop loss at the previous pivot low. You could have entered when it broke above the 90 MA, this blue line here. And you could have bought at the 90 MA on any pullback and then continued upward momentum and use any one of these points here, or these EMA lines, also as a stop loss. That's where the risk management varies and depends on how you want to trade and your style of trading. The price channel here gives you a good indicator of where you could possibly take profit because it's basing its price action on previous days. I hope you find this scanner helpful. That completes this video. Remember, this is only my personal opinion. Ultimately, we are all accountable for our own actions. Manage your own risk how you see fit. As always, I wish you the best in your trading. If you found this video helpful, please smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and select the notifications bell. Thanks for watching.